guys, this is Nick with comic themed ASMR. I wanted to make a short, little, soft spoken video for you guys. I've been sick and busy lately helping my grandmother and grandfather repainting and redoing the inside, the interior of their house. I didn't want to leave you guys hanging for too long, so I thought I'd just make this real quick. Thank you for my 3 subscribers who've probably been waiting for a while. I wanted to make this about my favorite comic book characters. Bad guys, good guys, Marvel, and DC. First off, my favorite brand, of course, is Marvel. But DC has some very good characters as well. My favorite DC character is probably either Cyborg or Batman. I've grown up with Batman, the original animated cartoon, and Batman Begins, or Beyond, right? Batman Beyond. And I went ballistic when Christopher Nolan came out with Batman Begins. I thought, hey, maybe they'll finally get a Batman movie right. They did a very good job with it. However, I didn't exactly like how they did Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. But I try not to nitpick, especially with comic book movies, because if I nitpick, I'm going to find too many things wrong with the movie, and I'm going to just make myself sad. So I deal with what the movie producers give us. I grew up with comic book characters like Batman and Spider-Man and the Hulk and X-Men. My favorite comic book cartoon is the original Teen Titans. That was the best. It was, it put together sort of an anime-ish style to the cartoons with basic American cartoon structure, and I threw a little splash of anime in that, and I loved it. And my other favorite character is Cyborg, of course. That's because of Teen Titans. I loved it. I loved the way that, as a child, I loved the way that he was able to just turn his hand into a sonic cannon. That always fascinated me. And when I was really little, I used to get a can of Pringles and finish the can of Pringles and put it over my arm and pretend that it was my sonic cannon. I was pretending like I was a cyborg. I loved it. And my favorite villains of the DC universe have to be probably Deathstroke and, of course, the Joker. People say that I have a really similar laugh as the Heath Ledger Joker. I don't see it or hear it, but a lot of people do. And the past 3 years that I've actually did trick-or-treat for Halloween, I was the Joker. I put green spray paint in my hair, and I did makeup like the Heath Ledger Joker. But he's definitely, for obvious reasons, my favorite DC villain. My favorite Marvel villains probably have to be Carnage and Shocker. Why Shocker, I don't know. I just think that it's really cool how the electric gauntlets aren't exactly electricity. They're sonic waves that he uses to shake open bank vaults. I always thought that was really cool, and how he really didn't use electricity even though his name was the Shocker. And his padded suit, I don't know, I just always thought that was cool. And Carnage, it's really simple. He's just like Venom. Venom's cool himself, but Carnage is more agile, he's more ruthless, and he's faster, which makes him really scary. Honestly, I would rather go up against Venom than Carnage, because Venom, I would be able to have the slightest chance to run away, but Carnage, there's no way he would be able. He's just too fast, too agile, and I just think that makes, with his normal symbiote self, that just makes it a really creepy combination. That really isn't fair, because I did kind of 2 Spider-Man villains, so I really feel inclined to do a different villain that's not a Spider-Man villain. So I think that besides those 2 villains, that isn't a Spider-Man villain, I would probably have to go with Magneto, most likely, because you can't really mess with him, other than the fact that, you know, you have to wear all plastic or all whatever that's not metal. If you have the slightest mineral of metal on you, he can use that to his advantage, and I think that's cool. My favorite Marvel superheroes are Spider-Man and Ghost Rider. I never really was aware of the Ghost Rider until the movie came out. And it was just cool, the idea of this bad A biker guy on fire. It was just the coolest thing ever. I think I was maybe 12 or 13 at the time the movie came out. Excuse me, guys. I'm gonna have to start whispering from here on out. I've been having a cold, and I thought I was able to do softly spoken, but I kind of can't. It's kind of messing up my voice, so I'm gonna have to whisper for the rest of the video. Again, that was just a cool concept for me. This guy on fire, and he didn't die, and he could get, you know, hella spawned powers, and, you know, as a kid and still today, the occult and demonology and things like that still interest me, so I think that Ghost Rider kind of helped me with that interest to go farther into learning about it. My father was afraid of it. I don't know why, but when we went to go see it, my father had to step out of the movie theater. He didn't like it at all, but I loved it. My mother loved it, and I kind of was disappointed with the second Ghost Rider, but of course, a lot of people were. I think they could have done a lot more with the second Ghost Rider. I don't really see it as a sequel, more like a reboot, because it says in the beginning of the movie that it's Marvel Knights, and they didn't in the beginning of the first Ghost Rider film. And funny thing is that the first Ghost Rider film was kind of my cement into the Marvel fan base, because before that I was a total DC fanboy, and the Ghost Rider movie kind of cemented my fandom into the Marvel universe. And I just thought that it was strange that they didn't put Marvel Knights in the beginning of the first Ghost Rider film. And I did some research, and it's basically a different story arc, so that it was basically kind of half and half, a reboot and a sequel. But again, I'll probably leave most of my opinions of movies for different videos, because I want to review movies for ASMR videos. If you guys think that that would be a cool thing, or I could just do origin videos where I explain a comic book character's origin, and if that comic book character has starred in a movie before, then I can review the movie in that sort of fashion. Not do a complete movie review in of itself, by its own standing as a video. And then Spider-Man. Spider-Man's always been my favorite comic book character, even though I was a DC fanboy for the longest time. And I loved Batman, but my favorite comic book character was always Spider-Man. I thought it was always cool how he didn't have to fly. He didn't have to have amazing muscles, how he was a nerd, how he was just a normal, everyday person that got this power thrusted upon him. And he didn't exactly have to fly, and most heroes that I knew of at the time all could fly or run fast or whatever. And he had these webs that shot out of his wrists, and he could swing on them like vines, like Tarzan or something. And I always thought that was like magic or mystifying. It was just really, really cool. And I don't know, something about the mask design, how there's webs all over him, and just how the mask itself was enclosed, how there was not a single shred of skin showing. And again, I was a really big DC fanboy. I loved the Justice League cartoons, and I don't think there's thinking still on Netflix if you wish to look it up. That was just the coolest thing I had ever seen at the time, and I believe this was before Teen Titans, so at the time it was the coolest thing ever, and I really liked how they took a different approach to it, how in the last episode, or episodes, they introduced Kraven the Hunter, which is also in my top 10 favorite supervillains of comic book history, and I just thought that it was cool they hadn't introduced Kraven the Hunter yet, and I thought it was cool. He's one of my favorites, and the way that the turn that it took, I'll try not to spoil it too much, but basically, Kraven made Spider-Man want to kill him. Kraven basically took Spider-Man over and beyond the edge, broke him mentally and emotionally, and Spider-Man just went on an all-out rampage, searching for Kraven, and when he did find Kraven, he came extremely close to killing him. And I just thought, wow, if somebody as straight and narrow as Spider-Man could be broken, then, oh my goodness, who else can break, and it kind of opened me to the world of alternate universes, like one where Batman's parents survived the gun shooting in the alleyway, and Bruce Wayne himself died, and his father turned into Batman, and his mother went insane and turned into the Joker. And it just opened me up to a whole new realm of possibilities, like if Spider-Man could break and nearly kill somebody, what would happen if he actually did kill somebody? It just got me thinking, and it kind of got me open to the comic book world itself as a whole. It started me on the road of spending my allowance on comic books, getting comic books as much as I could. And there's a city about maybe 45 minutes, almost an hour away, because I live in a very small city. It's a bigger city, about 45 minutes away. There was a comic book shop there, and it was just glorious whenever I could ever go there. I hardly ever did, but when I did, I spent every last penny I could on a comic book. And the very last comic book that I got there was, I can't remember which issue it was, but it was an Iron Man Civil War comic book. And the next time I went to that city, the comic book store closed down, and I was very, very sad, and they replaced it with Zoomies, the kind of like a skateboarder apparel shop, I suppose. That's what Zoomies is. And I was really sad because they replaced my comic book store with Zoomies. Are you serious? And it just made me mad, but I have like 2 big old boxes full of comic books I love and I still go through. I usually just order them online instead of buying actual paper comic books, but I'd still rather have a comic book in my hands than read it online. But yeah, those are my favorite comic book heroes and villains. I suppose another category I could put in is anti-heroes. Now, I don't really dwell that much in DC universe. I'm course, there's Deadpool, there's Wolverine, there's Punisher, Ghost Rider, and Spider-Man's been an anti-hero once or twice in different story arcs. And now that I kind of think about it, almost like half of the Marvel universe has been an anti-hero in one storyline or another. But mostly it's just Deadpool, Ghost Rider, Punisher. Those are the usual anti-heroes. But my favorite anti-hero is Deadpool, hands down. He's just funny, he's lewd, he's wisecracking, and I always thought it was funny how Deadpool humor and Spider-Man humor sometimes cross. And of course I find Deadpool humor to be a little bit more funnier because I find I have a dirty sense of humor. But I always thought it was funny how Spider-Man would do something funny in regards to Deadpool